Hi, I haven't done one of these videos in a while. Your guide on Ghana today is about the internet. Now, first, I've had a lot of people asking me the question about internet in Ghana, so I want to address those questions that people have been having. Now, these videos that I'm making are meant to be short and to the point and just little tidbits of information based on my experiences in Ghana. Now, one of the reasons why I have been doing short videos is because the internet is not, I can't count how many times I've started a video and then in the middle of it, it just chops. I actually have one video that just, I've, this particular video, YouTube Live, 4 times already today. And each time I start doing it, it stops and it says reconnecting and then it drops. And so keeping it short and to the point is helpful because I'm able to get my message across before the internet decides to act all wonky. But hopefully I'll have a stable connection now. Different times of day are better than others. And yeah, so anyway, in Ghana, one of the things people want to know is if it's expensive. Now, I'm coming from the person who lived in Canada. I've also lived in the US. As I have are based on comparing it to that. Now, for those of you in the diaspora who are considering moving to Ghana, keep in mind that the internet overall, on average, is 3 times more expensive than it is in developed countries around the world. So you have a weird dynamic where the internet is getting at is becoming more and more important in people's daily lives. However, the average income is a lot lower in African countries elsewhere on average. As far as comparisons, but yet quite expensive. Now, when you do the value conversion, I'll use US dollar, it's about between 40 and 450 for Ghana cities. That's 4 Ghana cities and 40 cities, 50 past west. Now, when you do the exchange for the cost of the bundles, it's expensive, but it's actually not in the long run. I'll get into that. Now you have choices. Vodafone, which is not very reliable. I actually have been using Glow for my internet on my laptop, and days it's not even working at all. So I'm wondering because I can't get anything on there. There's Surfline, Tigo. So you have a variety of options that you can choose, and you're best when you get to Ghana, or if you want to go online and look up these companies and search out the bundles that they offer, and you figure out on you. Of course, my personal experience is usage, internet usage. Working in media, I have a tendency to need to be online as well as uploading videos. There's things that I need to do. I'm an average user, but I think my experience is indicative of who move here and realize how challenging it can be. The stability of it. So some people more than one mobile device, different networks. One part of the city and the internet's working. Then you go to the other part of the city and then your internet's not working on one network, but it's working on another. So, for example, I have a phone, Ghana and other parts of Africa. I know in Canada, the United States, they don't sell dual SIM phones. The last time I was there, at least earlier this year, it gives you putting in 2 different SIM cards in your phone, and then you can switch the network where you are. Now, the one thing is, enter by a bundle, but fast. So for instance, I was video that I was having a hard time connecting, and it kept saying reconnecting. During that time, it's trying to really using up, and for some strange reason, it seems like it uses up fast And then next thing you know, it's gone. Exhausted while trying to connect to do this video. And I was trying to buy another bundle in the middle of it, then it got anyway. So there was one time when I actually was using my phone and I forgot to turn off my data. That's one thing, turning off your data when you're not using it, because it goes very fast. Now I didn't do it, and then next thing I knew, within a couple of hours, I had Ghana Cities on my phone. I wasn't even using it, and then all of a sudden it was just gone. And I realized I need to confirm it, otherwise it'll just keep going and going. It's like burning through, and you'll see most of your money on internet. So you have to be strategic about how you're using your internet while you're here. Through some examples of bundles based on my MTN. Now, MTN is one of the most widely used internet and phone services in Ghana. They're everywhere you go, sure. And they claim to be on 4G LTE speeds, which I don't agree with. Having come from living somewhere where LTE speed actually is really fast, and they say G, and you're like, no, this is not even close to what it was in Canada or in the US. Anyway, oh, and the other thing is it actually drops. Let me say this before I forget. Sometimes it drops. So my MTN is on sometimes, then it drops down to H, then it drops to it goes to H plus, then it goes to E, which is like, it's like horrible, and I can't get anything. And then when you try to do anything, I tried to watch Netflix last night and it had dropped to slow connection. What is it? 2000, the year 2000, or the 90s even, when you had dial-up. So anyway, these packages. So this, as I said, and these values make it seem like it's cheaper, but it ends up exhausting. Then you have to buy another bundle. So you have, okay, so 10 Ghana Cities, this is a month. 10 Ghana Cities will give you 400 megabytes. Now 10 Ghana Cities is like $2.70. 20 cities, which is about $4. 42.5 gigs, which is about 60 cities, 4 gigabytes, which is about $13. It's about $18. Now let me, what I said is unreliable, and now their service is suddenly. They had a great bundle for 80 cities. You got 30 gig, which is why I would, because for 80 gig, and here on MTN, 80 cities is 6 gig. Anyway, Glow is unreliable. They work sometimes, and sometimes they don't. Sometimes sometimes people will just choose the one that's most common and most popular, just because people get signals. 120 Ghana Cities on MTN, which is 150 Ghana Cities, gives you 15 gig, $4. 199 Ghana Cities gives you 20 gigabytes, which is $4. Then 289 gives you $6 for the month. Now, if you exhaust it before then, you can always buy another bundle to start over again. Last month, 54 gigs. 54 gigs last month on my mobile device. So it can go pretty quickly, and that was just on my phone. That didn't include using the internet on my laptop. Now, a lot of people have these. In Ghana, they call them a dongle, which is the device that you would plug in using a USB. Look at my bad manicure. That you would plug in using a USB to your laptop. Oh, a tip when you come to Ghana, Ghanaians don't say USB or flash drive. They call this a pen drive. I don't know why, but they call it a pen drive. There was one time I spent like the whole day job asking for a USB flash drive because I wanted to store information, and nobody knew what I was talking about. And then a friend of mine who said, "Oh, they call them pen drives," and I was like, "Aha!" So it goes back to trying to learn the lingo. There's different things people say and call things. So anyway, the good thing about MTN is they used to actually offer 100% bonus whenever you would buy, but now they dropped it to 50% bonus. So that kind of killed it for me, because it was like, oh, okay. But now it's down to 50% bonus whenever you buy a bundle, and that bonus is usually only good for a certain number of days. Quickly, otherwise you lose it. Now, in the office that I usually work in, we do film production. We have more than one provider in the office, and that's because of the fact that the internet often drops or stops working. So we have Busy, MTN. We used to have Glow at the office, but we don't use it so much anymore. But when one drops, then we switch to the other. The other one drops, we switch to the other. And that's because the internet is not consistent. And if you have work where you rely on the internet, it can really hinder your productivity. So it's really important you keep that in mind when you decide to make the move, that things won't be as simple as maybe where you came from as far as the internet goes. So keep that in mind when you come to Ghana. Most companies do not have 4G. LTE. The only ones who do, they say they do. It is faster than the rest of the companies, but it's still not as fast as coming from Canada or the US. So keep that in mind as far as productivity goes. If you're going to be doing business with people outside of the country or outside of the continent, mind giving yourself timelines and planning whenever you're doing things. And if you're trying to meet deadlines, to try to factor those into your decisions when you're telling people you can back. Yeah, the internet had stopped and said reconnecting. So you see, it said reconnecting, and I was like, okay, how long is it going to take before it reconnects? Now we're back. So now you could face this problem again. We're reconnected again. Okay. Peace out. I can't take this reconnecting crap, so I'm stopping right now. Thanks for watching.